Hello, I'm back to play some more Islanders New Shores. I'm currently working on the Mount Roberson challenge, have been for quite some time. I'm coming hot off of the last play session. I've only played for an hour and I've got like 2 hours to play, so I'm gonna keep going with it. Last we left off, we didn't have this wall platform placed nor any of the houses sprawling over here. We've gotten a lot of points, and since each of these houses are worth like 80, I'm working on getting the wisp to bounce over to here so that I can fill out this space with cliff houses, but like at this point, I don't really know if I need to bounce the wisp over there to get a few more points on cliff houses. It almost seems like this island is like winding down pretty soon. By winding down, I mean that I'm going to get through the majority of like the basic buildings to place. Then I'm going to have to worry about where do my markets go, where do my aquatic buildings go, where do my towers go. I do eventually have to figure out where my wheat farms go, but for right now I'm going to continue on the house and mansion kick. I've got another 2 houses to play, so I feel like playing them, and then a fountain, and I'm going to fill this area around here with mansions. Hopefully that's... Or not hopefully, but like... I guess once I'm done with mansions, I'll be able to find a way to wrap some cliff houses around here if necessary to get it out and about. I could also, yeah, as soon as I get one cliff house in here, I could like bounce it onto a harbor, I think, and then onto a dock, fishers, back and forth between fishers and huts. That feels pretty good. So we're gonna start with a house, go into a fountain, go into mansions, into a cliff house, and then aquatic buildings. That's the game plan. Might take me a full hour to do, might be really quick with how fast I've been playing. I definitely sped up my play since last time. I'm not considering as many things as like I should if I want to be under like completely optimal play, but like I've made so many mistakes in the beginning of the game, and I think I've made enough like high level decisions of this being my temple pit location, this being the island that I play on in general, that I don't want to say right now that I'm going to be getting world record by a large margin, but let's just take, for example, this guild hall right here. 1,023 points. That's going to be score multiplied to be, 1,600 points, point inverted to actually be worth points, plus this 300 right here. These 2 guild halls, because I've got 2 level ups in my boon bar, are going to be worth, currently they're worth 2,000. By the end of the game, probably 3,000. That's an extra 6,000 points on top of here. I'm going to be playing 2 temples in here, roughly for like another 1,000 points on top of that. Actually, I don't know. It might be a bit closer than what I'm like originally expecting it to be. I do have a lot of other buildings to place, but we'll see how it shakes out. 29k does seem like a pretty far cry from 10k right now, but with the guild hall point inverters, like I just need to make the same amount of points that I've already made, and I've already got so much set up that I'm gonna have a lot of payoff buildings, like really big towers, really big. Where are they? Where's my tavern? Come on, show yourself. Here, this guy for 154 points, maybe a bit more. There's gonna be another one played over here eventually. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. What I wanted to check was a fountain being played back here for 50 points is a lot less than 62 points. So I was thinking about playing a house a bit closer. Is a house played below worth 12 less points compared to a house above? So this guy's worth 48 compared to 28. So it's a loss of 20 points. This is more worthwhile to play, even if the fountain is on the edge. Okay, there's one. We have an S-shaped block, which, not very nice. What I would prefer is finally some of my L-shaped blocks to go in some of these spots that I've left behind. Or I think there's another one down here that needs it. This might also be a mansion spot, which... Let me double check. I think it's only worth like 20 points as a mansion, but it's worth like 40 points as a house. I still might end up taking it as a mansion spot. We'll see about that in the future. Now there is, I talked about this as I finished my last run. Do I play the fountain first to scale more off of the mansions that wouldn't be in range of it normally? So it's going to get +3 off of mansions below it, where mansions like all the way down here normally wouldn't detect this. Well, if I use it to bounce onto, like a wisp onto the mansions, that means that I'm going to be getting an extra 5 points per mansion, which will be +2 points per mansion played, you know, compared to getting the points on the fountain. So I think it is more worthwhile to play one fountain. Now, I could play a fountain up here and get rid of that spot, but that was like a 50-point park or a 30-point mansion. So yeah, I guess. Okay, so this is 47. It's not worth anymore. This is actually fine. It just feels weird to play a mansion on the fringes of my area. I don't know. It's probably not that bad. Let's go to our mansions. We've got a 26.1 down here. We can grab the wisp and move it down, which is good. This is worth 34, and it's tucked really nicely into the corner. I think I'll go with this one. I don't want to build up on this platform yet. I might jump back up to it in the future, but for right now, I don't feel like it. There is enough space for an L shape in this corner. How much space I have left is going to be after this corner piece. It's this 2x2, I believe. Hold on. Why can't I play this 2x2 here? Is it just too tall? Is this building taller than the rest of them? No, it isn't. I will want to snake mansions over here, right? I forgot how good these guys are going to be. I am still getting 20-some points over here, but this is worth 5 less because it's bouncing the wisp, so I will need to get it close to, like, a city center. I guess down here also works. This hits the wisp, right? Does this not bounce and hit the wisp? Oh, that is tragic. Can I get it, like, directly underneath to be able to do so? No. I'll have to bounce it off of a cliff house as I'm trying to get it from up here to down below. So to do so, I could play this one. Again, why doesn't this allow me to play it? I feel like this mansion is slightly taller than the rest if it's just not fitting in here. Let me try something. We'll grab this mansion, play it wherever, and then see. Yeah, you can't be played under here. That is so crazy. Because, like, all of the other houses are a specific height. All of the other mansions are a specific height. Not a 2x2 mansion. Slightly taller. Okay, so then I can play this one here, and then I'll look for... Well, I guess this one works up top. I don't want to slide up. I want to save that space for the future. But we'll play it here. I'm going to have to check a few things. Give me a... That's making another L-shaped block for a specific type of building in the future, but I think it's fine. If I do this, it might actually be better. Yeah, if I do this, I think it's slightly less points. Yeah, it's 3 less points than up here. But this building is going to be worth those 3 less points in the future anyways. Let's do this, so that I can fit in different types of mansions. Then we'll play underneath again, hopefully trying to bounce into this area. Bounce the wisp into that area. That's what I should have said. We've got 28 points here, looks like. I could move it up a bit further for... Don't think any extra points, not many. Okay, and we'll come back to that spot in the future if I need to. I can play this area and then we continue on. So here, and then we snake it there. Is there not enough space for me to slot it in? No way, right? And there's nothing I can do to change that. So that means that this entire wall platform, this entire 1 block section here is not going to be playable space. Unless I somehow get this guy to be slightly over the edge and then have the other buildings snap into its range. But that's highly unlikely. Like if I do this, maybe I can get it to work. Okay, that's actually a better position because it gets the wall platform down below because it like sinks into the ground. Can I get this guy to somehow sink into the ground? No, because he'd need to be playable first and then I would drag him down. This building still doesn't like work well down here. Yeah, because I would need to put a cliff house first to bounce the wisp onto it. What about putting a house in this area? How much is that worth? Not much either? Okay, so I'm fine putting a cliff house on this wall here. Even if it's a big one. What if I put it up top? No, that's not going to help me out at all. I need to get it lower to get it to bounce onto the mansion. I do save enough space for 2 blocks underneath, so I could play more cliff houses in the future, if that matters. And then we play the mansion down here for 21 points. This guy can go back further, and I'm not using up all of my space otherwise. I would want to get this cliff house further in. I can put it underneath this wall platform for sure. Cliff house is 2. So it's like 5 less points because it's not hitting a city center and an extra mansion. But it is maximizing my buildable space. So there. Okay, that works pretty well, I think. And then we go to mansions here. It does not leave enough space, so I need to push this guy underneath somewhere. That might be better. Try there. A bit too much wiggle room, but I'm not going to futz with it too much. It's not a building that matters as much as other positions. So this guy, 39 points. We take it even without a wisp bounce. I could then put another square mansion down here. That fills up the space pretty well. I'm hoping to get another fountain down here, I think, unless it is not in range of the other one. Oh, that's a great fountain then. Okay, so we'll wait to play a few more mansions before playing that fountain. I might have enough houses by that time to bounce it off of them. Not many, though. Not many, currently. And I've got another 300 points before I get new buildings, so those houses aren't going to be coming up anytime soon. So I can't play in here, because this is where the fountain needs to go. Actually, how far does the fountain go over? If it lines up with here, it's 54. If it lines up like 1, maybe 2 blocks further, it's 60. If I pull it out some down here, does it get out of range of that fountain? No, not easily. Okay, so it's looking like I get 1 more block of buildable space, which means that this mansion can't really hook around this guy in any meaningful way, unless this works. But I think I would have to play this one first and then the other mansion afterwards, because this mansion is not on the same grid as this guy. Which, it also can't hit the city center from here. I don't think any of the buildings can hit any of the mansions can hit the city center. This might be another cliff house bounce angle. Might be. Ooh, this is also a really good mansion spot. What if I were to try putting a mansion here and then fit a fountain in afterwards? I can always undo this building if I want to. Let's go for it. Fountain, here's the fountain. It just barely fits. That's for 51 points. It's getting a lot more than... Or I think the mansion was getting enough to make this worth it. How much is the mansion increasing if I put a mansion there? It's 35 points compared to getting like 20. I might get another 35-point mansion over here in the future, though. I think I'll save this buildable space for later, and I'll just play a fountain for now. If I need to put any mansions down here in the future, they're probably going to be in range of this fountain. We'll get a 60-point one and move on, because that's where I saw it being the most last time. So right there. If I move it down some, that does leave maybe an extra row of buildable space. I'd be interested to know if I can get 60 points here and then either using a house or a mansion to test. Mansion's too large, let me use a house. I think this is the wrong S-shaped block. I can't test if there's enough space back there to play a building unless... I know that huts are slightly smaller than the rest of them. If there's wiggle room for a hut back here, then I'll say that there's enough space to build something. There's like no wiggle room. Okay, so I'm gonna save that spot to put in an extra mansion and move the fountain down, even at the cost of an extra 3 points. Buildable space among all of these wall platforms is going to be more worth it. Okay, so we go here. Actually, can I grab it from this angle? No, that looks a lot worse to try to line up. Let's do it from here, I guess. We push it as far forward as we can and as far down as we can. And then we'll get it as far forward until we hit the other fountain. So right here. That's like on the same frame that it hits. Damn. And there's like no way that I can grab the 60 points without hitting that fountain. Yeah, okay. It's not looking like it. Right there. And now I'm going to see if... Yeah, that's a lot of space left behind for a hut to wiggle in. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a block of space to build a future building in. Now next. So I would want... Ooh, okay. How am I getting this wisp onto a cliff house? It's through a mansion, and then it is onto a cliff house. So I need to bounce it from the fountain back onto a mansion. I can't play mansions here. This is a hut or a wall space. I can't play mansions here because this is 2 huts that I'm going to be playing. Can I play... I can just play cliff house right beside the fountain, I think. That also scales off of fountains. Yes, it does. Okay. Ooh, and that's a 28 point... Wait, with... Oh, that is with the wisp. Okay. It's a 30-point cliff house, though. That's a good cliff house. Could I play it down lower? That might ruin some of my positions. Yeah, that's going to ruin some of my hut positions, so it has to be played high here. Come on, there's a way to get 31 points with this guy. I think that was it, right there. Okay, I'll just take it. And now I need to get it over to this side to be playable on a harbor, which, actually, let me check that out. Now, I'm not going to play any more fishers, I'm not going to play any more harbors, because I've got some verdures left. Where would I be playing verdures for trees? I can't do it anywhere over here. That's where all of my payoff buildings are going to be. I could maybe make some wall platforms or plateaus to put verdures on, but that's not going to be worth a score. It's just going to be fish at this point that will help me scale buildings. So we look at where the harbor, if the harbor can hit this cliff house back here. Where are my harbors and docks? They're going to be early. Here's one. Man, this is still a lot of points considering there's, what is it, so many mansions in this area. I'm thinking that I need to put a water platform so that I can face this looking inwards to get a few extra points. Not a few extra points, a lot of extra points. That was one of the strategies I wanted to do with docks over here, which might not pan out. And then I can very easily... It's not scoring off that cliff house. Okay, so I can put it onto a mansion. Is it still on the fountain? No, it's on the cliff house here. I can put it onto a mansion or onto a house to be able to bounce the wisp onto the harbor. Then after it's on the harbor, I can play fishers, bounce it back and forth between huts, play a couple docks off of the fishers, and profit from there. Huts. They scale negatively off of harbors. Interesting. If I play the harbor first to be able to get the wisp to bounce onto it, I think that's still a worthwhile endeavor. What about a dock? That's going to scale off of just regular houses. Let me undo the last building that I played. I think I might be playing a house down here somewhere to bounce it off of the fountain. And then using a dock to pick it up. Because do huts scale negatively off of docks? They don't, so I could play a dock first. Which I think you're supposed to do, like regular aquatic buildings, go harbors and then docks. Can't remember, I'm not going to do the math, I'm not going to look it up. Oh, and there's not enough space for 2 buildings in between here. Tragic. Up here might be a possibility, but that might be getting a bit far away from docks. Right, and this doesn't have enough space to play a building properly. And this does not feel like it. This was a spot reserved for a tavern. I think I could play here, though, and be comfortable with that. If I play it all the way back here, that makes me feel better, and it's only worth 3 less points. Okay, so I play a building here. We get an exact copy of the building that we just played. If I walk this guy a bit further forward, I could play one right here. Can a dock reach up here? Let me go check that out. Docks. You facing backwards. Yeah, even you facing forwards, hit it. If you're facing backwards, it's going to be very hard to hit houses. It would have to be very close and it'd have to get short docks. So I think I'm just going to use long docks to hit a few houses up top. Or hit this house in particular up top. Which means I move forward by 1, and then I play another house stacked on top of it. So right here, this is probably going to save enough space. There's a bit too much space there, but if I move it all the way up, I could then play 1 right here, behind it. And then that saves all of this space up here for mansions to be beside cliff houses. Are they close enough to the cliff houses? A few of them, but like not multiple of these buildings aren't going to be close enough to the cliff houses to like make that feel worth it. Do I think this is going to be another residential district? I mean, it's close enough to the guild hall and the temple that it should be, at least somewhat. I've got 3 wall platforms left. I could play 1 here, but it is green, and this is something that I might want to save for green buildings. It would get me 3 extra points on each of these buildings. Where I am at some point going to need more space up here for sawmills, for hermitages, for something. Where would that go? There's going to be 1, 2 hermitages that go down. I might get a 3rd in the future that goes down back here. I could play a wall platform spawning off of this cliff to get a good hermitage spot, but no, that's too close to the houses. I could play 1 here to be another good hermitage spot, and then fill up its back end with sawmills to hit these lumberjacks, and it'll also be a spot for lumberjacks that can be played in the future. I'm liking this wall platform enough. It's not a perfect position, but it's enough. It's enough. Let me see what a hermitage on it looks like, just to gauge my feeling. Where are those? Got 2 of them here. Okay. Yeah, 220 is not bad. I think I'm only going... Yeah, I can only fit 1 up here. And then I can hopefully fit sawmills behind it. Maybe. Or I play it further down or off to one side and I can play more lumberjacks on this thing. We'll see how it shakes out. But I'll stick with that wall platform for right now, which we've got another green wall platform. I don't need to play this one. If I know that my next wall platform is going to be green anyways, I can just play this guy here. Now, oh, I've locked this house into position, and that might not be the position that I wanted anymore. It's fine, it's fine. I'll find ways to play around it. Okay, you or you. You're slightly closer, so you're going to hit all of the mansions. You're slightly further away, but you can get more buildable space to be lined up. I don't think so. I think I like this. Excuse me, need a drink of water. All right, we have houses to play. I don't feel comfortable playing these ones yet because I want to save most of the space open for taverns or maybe other buildings. Maybe a mansion is better. I can check. Yeah, mansions are better on this corner, so we'll save them for that position, those positions, and a mansion over here. I don't think I play them first though. I need to build from the back and outwards, so let me grab the other house that I had, and I think my original placement was to play it along this guy slotted in here. That feels like it's fine. It's 38 points. I'll double check how it lines up with the other house by zooming in a bit more. Yeah, so we had this original S-shaped block, and then we stack it on its back, basically. We're losing one block of space back here. Maybe I can fill that out with a hut. Where are they? Hut here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Not a preference, but I mean, I could also put a cliff house back here too, because they're worth quite a lot with the city center being nearby. We'll reason about that later. Time to get docks and harbors down. I feel these guys do not scale off of what is it, cliff houses, but they do scale off of houses. I feel like this is going to be at my like house max. I feel like all of my houses are back here though, so let me just see what a harbor's worth. Yeah, like back here, harbor, or if they picked up all of the buildings, they could be worth a ton, but it's still much better that I played the early game how I did. I would not want to save any aquatic area near this for big harbors. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to line up a water platform out here to know where I want my docks and harbors to go. Where are they? Here? Got this guy. It's a green area. This would be fine for hop fields, I feel. Definitely not for wheat fields. I'd rather spend my plateaus on that, and I'm gonna wait. I'd rather put my wheat fields in range of the guild hall, which, let me double check if the guild hall is going to be in range of a lot of this green area. Not much, and I don't think I'm gonna stack another green wall platform on top of it. Yeah, that's not gonna happen to get all of the wheat fields underneath it. And I can't stack another wall platform anywhere nearby. I don't think it's worth it to play wheat fields in range of the guild hall then. I'd rather just play more houses up here. Maybe a few parks, but those are... yeah, I could play skinny parks up here. Maybe. If I start running into too many parks, I'll play them up here. How much are they worth, by the way? It's not half bad. I mean, that's with a wisp bounce. This is much better, but I guess I'll be playing more houses underneath it. It'll start scaling more. I'm getting lost in thinking about where buildings could go and not where they should go. We need to line up a water platform to get small docks to work in this corner, but I don't have any small docks, so I don't know exactly how much space they're taking up. So I would like to play this long dock somewhere, but I don't know where it could go, because this is blocking a really good harbor position, right? Yeah, compared to this being worth like 50 isn't that much different. 53 compared to 64. I feel like this is where docks and harbors should look inwards instead. So if I were to play you like this, I could then play docks beside it. Hold on, where are my docks again? Early game building, like here, they're only worth, yeah, and this is only because it's bouncing the wisp, they're only worth an extra 2 points off of the houses, and I'm not going to play many more houses in time. These guys are not going to be able to get in range of the houses that I've played down below. If anything, I just try to get them in range of the statues to make them more worth it. So it feels like this is going to be optimal, to create a line of small docks along this edge right here. Even though it's beside two of my city centers, and that might not be good, these should also be in range of all of my fishers that I play in the future. I guess if I start here, then they will be. So my long dock can go wherever a long harbor goes. Where's a long harbor going to go? It's going to come out of this area, I believe. If I delete no fish and I can put this guy down, I would do it. I would also want to bounce that wisp, which isn't happening from back here. It is from over here, but this seems like it's blocking out too much of where the harbor is going to go. Or where other docks could go. Let me try it. I can always undo this building. Harbor, where are you? Or I guess I would start doing a fisher now, but I need to see where my harbor gets played around this building. So my harbor cannot be played around this building nicely. It can be played here. Then I would leave a pocket in the center for a future dock. Let me see what that looks like. 24 points, 29 points. No more than that. Oh, this could be really good, actually. Does it not get that last turn off? Okay, so this is the last one at 42 points. That's enough. That's a sizable amount. And we could get maybe another one that scores off a few extra houses, and maybe one here. So that's 3 dock spots. And I could place a harbor here that hits all of the docks and a few of the houses. And grab that harbor again. Here. 62 points, I think was like the same as if I shoved it back in this corner. Yeah. Yeah, okay, okay. And then this harbor is also going to be in range of all the docks that go down here. Sure. I definitely haven't played the aquatic buildings like I should have. More houses should be on this end, but I feel like they earn too many points on all of the wall platforms back here compared to a few of them out here. It's just the nature of building in like a pit compared to building on spires. My fisher should go down before any other buildings. And it can bounce the wisp off of the dock, which was my original plan. I'm fine to lock this position in. Actually, it deletes a fish. I need to get around that. Is this more safe, or is it taking up more space than this guy? I feel like this is taking up less space on the inside, and I'm going to want to build more buildings inside of this pocket than outside facing in. Now, next up, we're going to play a fisher. Or, hold on, the dock, I think that can bounce to a hut, right? No, it can't? Okay, so we have to play a fisher. We've only got 2 of them, so I'm not going to be able to bounce off of huts as much as I want to, because not many other buildings scale off of huts. What I would have wanted to do is bounce between a bunch of fishers, a bunch of huts, back and forth to be able to get the wisp to go between hut to hut. Because like, unlike houses that score off of each other and it can just go from one to the next, you have to have something that filters in between the huts. Saunas, not happening. Shamans, not happening. City centers, not happening. Fishers or lighthouses, but I'd wait on lighthouses first. Right, it goes fisher. And then how are we getting this wisp off of the hut to get back onto the harbors? I'd need to play another fisher, I guess. This guy's only worth 17 or 23. I'd be able to find a 23-point position here, I believe. Yeah, right there, compared to 27 back here, and it's going to scale more of my docks and harbors. Like if I play a 16-point one after it, which I like better. It's also going to scale more of my huts from this side. Here for this one. Okay, and then we play a hut back here. Where is it? Hut. And we push it back as far as we can while still getting it to bridge the gap so that I have enough space to play one on the left side. That is another space for a building down below that I should be double checking. This guy right here has... This is the correct shape for it. This mansion goes like right back in here, I believe. Or I might have already taken up that space with another building. I'm just going to say that I have so that I don't have to... Oh, I haven't. Okay. What if I do this and leave space for huts? Can I? No. Can I leave space for huts above it? How would I get huts behind this thing, though? Is this more worth it than to play huts down here? I think I'm going to have more spaces to play huts in, like, more odd spots. So taking a mansion spot here that's worth 34 is still really good. And how much space does that block over here? Doesn't really look like any. It looks like it starts right there, which still allows me to play a 2x3 chunk of huts down here. 1, 2, 3. I really hope. I hope. Worst comes to worst, I can play him for 37 back here. So I think I'm going to want to play the outside first and then the inside. So here. That doesn't leave enough space for this guy, but these ones will. Yeah, I think I had to bite the bullet on one of the buildings. So now that the hut has bounced that wisp, I should bounce it back with the fisher. And then, do I play another hut? Let's see if I have another fisher to play. Hey, look at that! Another fisher to play. Isn't that just dandy? It's going to be really hard to find a spot for a lighthouse that picks up these fishers without picking up the cliff houses. Oh no, it doesn't care about cliff houses. Oh, that's great. Oh, that makes it so much easier. Okay, so it's still bouncing it back and forth with fishers. Maybe no, this would just be a spot for a fisher in the future, this 23-pointer. It's not going to be a 23-pointer for long once I play this guy here. If I play this one over here, it's not going to be, or it's not going to mess up this guy, so I'll play it. All right, and then we go back and play another hut underneath for 49 points. Great. And then we go back here to play a fisher, and then we start playing our aquatic, and we finally get to our industry buildings. Finally. I can play it for 1 point out here, or I can get 2 more city centers by moving it back a bit. Oh, I can get 1 more city center by moving it back a bit. If I play this one, though, it's blocking a couple of the docks that would fit in here, I think. Let me see what the dock looks like. I try fitting it here. It still works. And I can probably play one beyond it right here. Just like this. I feel like that's fine. I'm going to hope that I can play dock 1 above it and dock 2 below it. Oh my... How many fishers have I placed? I've played 1 to get it off the dock onto the hut, and then 1 back here. That means that I've lost out on another set of points from I could have been playing verdures this entire time. Okay. I don't think any of these guys are going to be deleted, so I'll play them. I want to say that stacking the fish closer together is better, but I'm... Ooh, fitting a fish back there is actually kind of nice. And I could get a few extra trees, maybe? Okay, can I get the secret flower somehow? I don't think so. Alright, I would like to play... Right around here seems good. Keeps the fish really close to the corners, so they're going to have a lower chance of being deleted. Yeah, and I can't rotate it at all. Okay, sure, right there. That's painful. That is very painful. Like, know that I've made that mistake twice now on the same set of fishers. Okay, so 1 goes down here. I might use a dock to delete this fish in the future. By going something like this. We'll see if that's playable around the harbor. I think it will be. This is still very much playable. Love this position. So does it go docks or harbors first? Docks scale 8 off of harbors. Harbors scale 6 off of docks. So it goes a harbor before any docks go down. So I would play this harbor here. And it's already scaled to be 90 points. That's because of the fish and then the amount of fishers that I've played. Still nice to see that it's scaling though. And I don't think there's a way that, yeah, I can't attach it to this stone without making it go at a bit of an angle. 92 points. Yeah, I'll pull it back in some. The less space I take out here, the more space I'll have for water platforms in the future. I would like to play both of my harbors before playing any of my docks, so I need to find a second spot for my harbor. I can play 1 here deleting a fish, or I can play 1 here. I think I don't want to do that though, because I want to have docks facing inwards to even just grab these statues. So I'd be playing a row of water platforms here. I could then play the harbor facing outwards from this side. Where is it again? Harbor. So you could be played here for 64 points. That isn't bad. If I have you facing inwards, that's even less. If I have you here, that's not all that great. I really think that it's going to be off of a water platform right here. So let's look at our water platforms. We've got a green one. If I place you here to not delete that fish, how much space do the small docks have? They cannot be played. I think these, the little, what is it, nubs in the water, take up some amount of physical space, but like barely any when you're considering them in the open water. But they can't be played facing towards a cliff or like solid ground. No, that's wrong then. Why isn't this allowed to be played? Is it because the regular dock needs more space? Does it need to be up here? If I face it outwards, is that fine? Like, this is a completely fine building to play. Maybe it's that, like, the gate is the end of the... Oh, by the gate, let me grab the dock again. By the gate, I mean that there's, like... You see the rope with the 3 sticks that's coming off of the dock itself, and the last stick is just in the water by itself? I'm assuming that the rectangle ends at the end of the dock's, like... I guess, white chunk, where the stairs enter the water, roughly. But the rectangle might be ending at where that stick is. If I try pulling it down, maybe it's not a complete rectangle, but you can see that it's blocking some of it. So if I move this water platform further out, that stick is going to have some space to actually dip into the water, and then I should be able to play that dock there. So we'll try it. And... Okay, let's say I play a water platform here for 24 points. If I play it, that means that I can't play docks coming off of the side. I don't know why water plateaus don't allow that to happen, but wooden platforms do. So I need to use the water platforms. Let's try putting it right at the edge of this harbor, see how that works out. Got another green space, interesting. Docks, where do they go? Here. And this now has enough space to be played. So my assumption was correct, where I need a little bit more than what I'm expecting to make room for the guardrail. I would like... Hold on. Let's see how this harbor scores. If I push it further back, is it worth more? If I push it further out, is it worth more? It's 59 here. If I get it a bit further in, it would be worth 64. If I get it even further in, it's worth 69. I can push this water platform further up then, make more use of its space. Like, I want to say there. That's going to allow me to play, I think I need to push it a bit further towards the city center to get my docks to be stacked really nicely. Yeah, there's a bit of extra wiggle room in here. And let's see what the harbor looks like. 69 points. I think getting the 74 points is a little bit too far, because I would still like to play docks coming off of this edge. Hold on. Like this. And yeah, that is, I think, a little bit too far forward. So I need to pull it down some and very, very slightly in. Okay, let me grab a water platform in my hand. What is that? 1, 2, 3. That's going to be more than 9. What I wanted to do was undo this with the hotkey for it, the water platform, and then click the hotkey that would equal the water platform to get it back into my possession right now, and then I could move my cursor down a little bit and off to the right to get it where I wanted it to go, but I have too many buildings for that to work. So go down a bit, go to the right a bit. We try again. We're going to see if that harbor is worth 69 points. It is worth 64 here. I can live with that so long as the docks line up really well. 50 points up here, so I don't want to get the 42, so it's kind of fine if I walk it back in some. And this is still extra space, so I still need to move this dock a bit, or this harbor, this water platform further off to the right, and then up a bit. Okay, trying to like conceptualize where that is. Docks and harbors, which are all the way back to the beginning, always. You just barely have enough space to play, because you can't be played when you try getting played like higher on the water platform. Like, I can't play you on this. Why is it not showing that anymore? Whatever. And this one is being played for 50 points. This was the one that was worth the most down here. I could maybe make it worth 50 points a bit earlier. I could move it down some. But like that is not a very far stretch. And then the harbor, 69 points, perfect. Okay, so we still play the harbor first, and then we start ripping it on the docks. These guys could have been played around my seaweed farms. My seaweed farms would be played... Hold on. The harbors could be played around seaweed farms, I think. Let me undo it just to see what it's worth. So seaweed farm is 3. I have 3 of them. Each harbor could be worth an extra 9 points, but then I'd be shoehorning myself into like, oh, I need my seaweed farm out in the open water. I need to use water platforms, which is buildable space that I want to save for other buildings in the future. And maybe my water platforms are better served for a market or a warehouse or a sawmill in like an exact position, you know? So we're going to play a harbor here. And then it was docks down the line here. Now, the longer I wait on these docks, the more they're going to get from houses in this area, but I kind of don't want to. I don't want to take on that mental tax of, like, remembering that my docks go down here in the future, and, like, where am I going to bounce my wisp to next, if not onto my docks? I kind of just want to build out my industry, be done with it. 58-point dock is nothing to scoff at. I can't get this one to score yet, but I could after playing this one, I think. Yeah, especially because this is going to be in range. So here, 58 points. We get another short dock, so we can go back here for 61, 64, I think I saw. 65, maybe. 65? Okay. And then how would we get this out? If I play a dock facing in this direction, that works. If I play a dock facing this direction, it's going to hit it very easily. Okay, this deletes a fish early, so like I could play this one first and then follow it up with this guy so that my other docks get 1 more point per. No, I don't feel like it, actually. I don't want to get the extra 5 or so points that it would be off of that one fish. Oh, and this is 66 instead of 65. Would you look at that? Now I do have a dock that's too long to be able to be played where I want it to. So I have the option of putting a water platform out here. I have the option of maybe that gets the wisp. No, not close enough. I have the option of deleting some fish back here for 54 points. This is going to scale all of my harbors and docks less in the future, but like, come on, it just fits very well into here. I think I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna draw too many more fishers or harbors. The mountain shrines that I play in the future are also worth less from the fish. What about over here? Then I would have to find a way to bounce it back because like this dock is too far away from where I want to play all of my other ones. What about playing something here? There's no way that this fits in any way, right? No. Okay, what if I were to play a water platform around here first and play a dock off of it second? Difficult, but not impossible to do. It would delete 1 fish. I think it's going to delete too many fish. I think deleting the 2 fish now is not that bad. But I'm gonna save my sanity and say it's okay. It's fine. No, it gave me another long dock. Okay, I could get the wisp out by playing a dock here, but I don't like this dock being played here because it's not worth the amount of points that these guys should be. And this one doesn't earn very many more points. And I might want to save a plateau. Can a plateau go down here? Oh, it's just shy of being able to be played. Oh, no, it's like half a block of space, like half the fishers taking it up. I would have loved to have played this because then I could have played wheat fields here, which have mills played near them, and then those mills are going to scale the warehouses. I guess I can always play plateaus further out, but I'm going to lock in my positions that I have so far. That's our 4th seaweed farm. We're coming up pretty close on our 5th one, which is, what is it? There's going to be 5 seaweed farms and 25 seaweed fields total. Next building. More docks. I just really want to find a way that it fits in here somehow. Like, this might work. Ooh, this might work. I'd play a water platform right here. Delete 1 more fish. Let me try that. Here. This could also be a spot for some of the wheat fields to go. And if I get really lucky, maybe I can put it to the left of this fish, this dock. So it's worth 50 points here. Can I get it to be played back here? I think its gate at the very end is taking up too much space. Oh, but the gate can kind of clip through things. Interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get it. This one isn't as good. I think I pull this further back and further off to the right. Water platform here. Let's try there. Yes, that works better. Can I get the fish to stay alive? Does not seem like it. Seems like I'm taking up too much space. If I back this guy up even further, I might have the space for it. Which I'll try. Water platform, where are you? Here. I'm gonna try making it completely flush with this, and then going like right on this edge of the harbor. We'll see how that works out. Dock. If I tilt it in, no, I can't tilt it in more than that. Yeah, that fish is always getting deleted. Okay. But I do like this water platform position. It might be a bit further out from all of my warehouses, or all of my aquatic buildings. This could be a pretty good spot for a lighthouse, though. It's hitting most of the fishers, and then I'd want to place a second lighthouse over here. This is a good spot for a lighthouse. Or I could do 1, 2, and then... No, 3 doesn't work over here. Okay, I think I'm going to have to put 2 lighthouses beside each other and just take a negative point hit on some of them. Back to the dock, and I play it... Hold on, what's a warehouse looking like on here compared to being further in? Not much different. A warehouse in here, much better though. I guess I'd just play a water platform in here in the future, and my dock that's being played here does still save space for a warehouse to fit here. Okay. Oh, it's just slightly too big here to fit this guy too. Rough. Whatever. We still have another square water platform that's going to be great for markets. Actually, let me see where markets would go. Over here, top here, they really feel like a wall platform building. Up here, this is a spot for a mountain shrine. This is a spot for more just like regular houses. This is hard. I would like to play markets after my temples go down. But the markets are taking up space that the houses would normally take to, like, get more points on the temple and the guild hall. Is playing houses here instead of playing the market. I'm going to play, like, let's say 7 up here, 30 points each, or 20 points each. That's already 210 points. Yeah, it's better to play residential buildings up here and find markets. Spots for markets later. Even though they are worth so many points. Okay. Dock. Dock. Oh, finally. Okay. I would like to save the rest of these spots for docks in the future. I think I've finished building aquatic buildings on this end. Which means when I start redrawing, I shuffle all of these buildings back into the pack again and I can draw any one of them, and I get a few more docks, that's when these guys go down, and then warehouses and stuff beside them in the future. Is this worth it to go up for an extra 5 points? Yeah, it's such a small amount of, like, space loss that I'm gonna take it. Now, I do need to find a way to get the wisp off of the dock and onto one of my other buildings. How do I do that? We'll find a way. I'm not gonna bounce them onto my hop fields. The only way would be tavern into brewery, into hop field, into brewery, into tavern again. Maybe the brewery can scale off of a warehouse. Warehouses are not being played up here. I can just play hop fields up here. I feel like I should be more particular about this. I'm not going to be. What's probably going to happen in the future is that a non-green wall platform is going to go down that can fit 2 breweries on it. I think a wall platform only fits 1 brewery on it, actually. So I might have to fit more hop fields on it. That's a lot of residential buildings. Thanks, guys. Thank you. What goes down next? Warehouse in this area. Not as great as I want it to be. It's going to be better in the future. This could bounce the wisp off of it. I could play... Oh, I could play a house in range of the dock. You can't... What? What do you mean? Huh? Is it because the dock is like underneath it and it's hitting the guardrail or something? That's so odd. And I can't play one up here because then it strands the wisp out in no man's land. I could play one up here though, and that could also bounce it back in. Okay, I play a house up here. I play a fountain eventually, but there's not enough buildings beside it. But then the fountain could bounce it onto a mansion or a cliff house from there, and then I can fill up the rest of this wall with cliff houses and up top here with mansions. Actually, I wanted to fill up this area with mansions, and I wanted to fill up the space above it with houses. But I do need to play at least one house up here to bounce the wisp up, so this corner is the best spot for it. Or if I can play it further in, that would be better, but I don't think that's going to be in range of the... It might be in range of this dock. Okay, where are you? House, right here at the very end. So, how is this guy in range of this building? It's not, it's in range of this post. So it works. I'm not going to be able to build my full 6 buildings because this guy isn't flush with the back wall yet. Is there any place that I could make it flush with the back wall? Definitely not on this side. And if it's in the middle, it's a gamble because I'm not going to be able to see it. So I will take this as the best that I can get. If there's any way that it shimmies further in there, sure. If I take this might be close enough. If I take this, it might be close enough. But then I'm losing one complete block of space. But then that would save me a full row of buildable space on the outside, which I think I like. I could also save, what is it, long houses here to test to see if it's going to fill up. Like, if I have 2 3x1s, or like 2 buildings that take up 3 blocks of space like this, I can place one here that takes 3 blocks of space and then place, or try to fit one in here to test it. Don't think I'm gonna do that though. This feels like it's as close as this is. So then that means that this is going to be the same distance on both of them. I really don't like that because it does not feel like that's enough buildable. I don't know. Okay, now seeing this building, I need to rotate this wall or this house around. I kind of don't want to start building on this side first because I need to build under this platform. I'll find a way to get under this guy. Will I? Yeah, here will be good enough. Here will be good enough. Okay. House. You're going down. I think I put you in this direction so that, yeah, this house is now ready to go. Is this mansion worth a good amount of points? If I wait until later, it's going to be the same amount of points anyways. I think I'm fine putting a second house here. Wait, can I not push this guy in any further? Why do you not fit beside this house? It must be part of the wall or one of the cliff houses that's taking up that amount of space. I'll still play it off of this though. This is not the correct wall, or the correct house to be played in a couple of my spots. It is the correct one to be played over here, though. So we'll take that spot when we have it, while I'm remembering it. We still have 1, 2, 3 spaces for those L-shaped buildings that have the corner piece come out the top right side. All right, now with these 2 houses played, and I've got the wisp up here, how do I get it off? I can play a park worth some amount of points, not a lot. I can play a fountain that will help scale mansions up top, but like not as much as it could be because the fountain could just be played at a later date to hit more of the buildings. How else would I get it off of one of the houses and onto a mansion? A tower, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's just looking like a tower, actually. A park, but I've already gone over why I don't want to do that. Tavern into circus into mansion, but that's not happening. I'm not playing. Interesting. I could play a circus over here. It is beside a lot of the cliff houses. I think I might try playing a wall platform above this and then play circuses over here because this should be out of range of the temple, even range increased. Wait, what about over here, beside all of these cliff houses? Ooh, this is where one of the mountain shrines is going, though, so it can't fit in there. And I think it's going to be the same, yeah, it's the same space. Oh, okay, 2 circuses go here, 2 circuses go here. I don't think they're going to be in range of taverns at any point in the game, but I don't play them now because this is going to be in range of the temple. So this space is being saved, even though it's green for circuses. I'm going to have to play these wheat fields on another green wall platform maybe down here works, and then a plateau or something, which I could play a plateau and then stack a wall platform on top of it, but I don't think the wheat fields count as connected if you ever go vertically between them, which does suck, but I could manage. I'm going to be creating 2 stacks of 16 on top of each other. It's not like they need to be connected all over the place. Play a bit longer. Do I want to? I could save the problem of getting this wisp onto a building for next episode if I want to. Sure. I think I've built enough for this time. So we filled out this bottom corner for right now. We'll come back to it and we will find out how to get this wisp onto the mansions and the cliff houses in this area. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next episode.